is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 63. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Real quick, if you didn't mind hitting a like on this video, possibly subscribe to the channel if you are new here. If you are new here, we talk about all things kart related. We talk about tires, we talk about chassis, we talk about setups and driving experience and anything you can think of having to do with karts and or racing. I try and kind of get them all together and talk about all that stuff right here. So if you're new, welcome to the channel, and I hope you enjoy it. Kart 63 has to thank its wonderful sponsors of this channel. So Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tack Tire Treatments, Burris Racinv Tires, and beardoctane.com. I happen to have my Beard Octane shirt on today. And how's the beard looking? Pretty good? I've been keeping it a lot shorter. My wife and I are discussing. She likes not a lot longer, a bit longer, but then she sees the pictures and the videos and stuff I showed her of it when it was really long. And I at the time, I wanted to see how long I could grow it. It's the thing that you do when you first grow a beard. You're like, hey man, what kind of man mane can I get out of this thing? And then as it turns out, I do like the more manageable, shorter style beard. Not the right tight, thing. I do like a touch of length, but not much. Anyway, I digress. Don't get me going on beard stuff. I have a whole nother channel, or I started this, my ability to talk in front of the camera from doing beard product reviews. I could just go into that, but you don't need to know about all that stuff. Anyway, this is a subject I've had in my phone for a long time, and just one of those I've been gonna get to it type of thing, but I've heard it. I've heard people say it as of recently, and it kind of refreshed my mind that I wanted to do a video on it. Okay, well, by the thumbnail, you already know what I am about to say. Tires over setup. Now, I discussed this a little bit Thursday night. We do a live stream here on Kart 63. I interact with the chat. You ask me questions. I talk about, racing stories and other stories. I brought up, me being 20 years in a band and doing the screamy meme stuff and what have you. But anyway, I brought this subject up because I was considering doing a video for this Sunday, and obviously we are there. We're at that point where I'm going to discuss this with you guys. But I've heard more than once from people, and people I respect, and I take nothing away from. I know where they're coming from. I know what they're saying. I just respectfully disagree. They say that setup of a kart chassis does not matter as long as you hit on tires. Concentrate on tires. That's where the speed at. Now, they're not wrong, but I do disagree. So the reason I believe that people are led to this conclusion is that your modern day go-kart, whether it be a Phantom Racing chassis, whether it be a Slack Elevate, an Ultramax, a Premier, whatever chassis, they have a base setting that the factory is telling you this works. We have tested this chassis and this setup works for this chassis. Now, I believe that you can tweak on that. I believe different parts of the country very much makes a difference in what your setup is. But in general, that if you put said setup on this kart, all you should have to be concerned about is tires. Now, not being concerned about setup is, I disagree wholeheartedly, and here's why. If you take two equal teams, and you have all the equipment in the world, you have top-of-the-line equipment, you have the same tires, you are of the same caliber with tires as your competitor is. So we have even and even. One does not concern himself or herself, whoever's doing the setup, whether it be a team owner, whether it be the driver, whoever is doing that, they do not concern themselves. They've scaled one time, that's that. This kart is set up like this. And they only concern themselves with tires. You're banking on your tire knowledge being superior to this team over here which we just discussed, has equal tire knowledge, has equal ability with the tires, but is willing to change the cart to adapt to the surface that they're on. So no matter that, you can be phenomenal at tires. And I know a lot of people. Matter of fact, the person that, that kind of inspired this video, Dom, he's fantastic with tires. He's fantastic with knowing what the track is going to call for. Absolutely. But like I said, if you take the setup will matter. Tires are going to make you feel like Superman. If you nail tires, if you have somebody that is fantastic with knowing tire pressure, what date code, what kind of durometer, the prep situation, you have all that stuff, you are going to feel like Superman. But the pressure points, you have 4 tires that are hitting the ground, that setup matters for that track. So if you are, say, a little harder on your right rear or a little harder on your right front, your left rear, whatever it may be, that is going to cause those tires to build heat quicker, possibly fade. So even if you come in with equal tire knowledge, equal tires, yet this person has modified their setup. They come off the track, maybe a temp gun, take a peek at temps, see where the heat's built on. Hey man, I'm too hard on my right rear. I need to get off that, and they go ahead and increase cross in order to get off that right rear. Therefore, now their chassis setup, I believe, is going to exceed that of which the person who doesn't touch the chassis, in the race. So it's very possible that equal to equal tires, by the end of the run, the person who did not adjust the chassis is going to lose to the person who had made that adjustment, knowing full well that tire was going to overheat by the end of the run and they were going to start to skate on. It's just, it's nitpicking a small thing, but I have heard, like I said, it just as of recently kind of got brought up again, but I've had it in my phone for a long time, that I believe there are a growing number of teams and people that all they concern themselves about is tires, and it's perfectly fine. And I understand why, because a modern chassis with a setup is gonna be darn close, no matter where you are, unless it's a super tricky track. A matter of fact, for instance, AMS, the track that I race on, that high banked, it's a Burris track. You run 11s, you can run 33s. It takes a certain set of driving style. It takes a certain type of setup that I don't believe, say, not picking on Phantom, but the numbers they give me for a Phantom Recon do not coincide with what that track needs. So if I were to be, Joe Blow, hey, I'm getting into kart racing, I'm buying the best of the best, I'm going to get the brand new Phantom Tricon, and I'm going to go to this track, I'm only putting Phantom numbers on it, and this is going to work. You may be, able to have a tire guy and have really good tires for that particular track, but I can tell you that track in general isn't going to love that setup. It's not going to like a high left. It's not going to like a 60% left. I'm not sure what the Tricon actually is calling for now. They're amazing chassis, but obviously I don't have one. But that tracks up north in general don't require that much left. So what while it is a benefit to a racer to have, a suggested setup for a particular chassis that you should only have to concern yourself about tires, I think they just go hand in hand. There are 3 phases to a complete race kart and a race team setup. That is driver, that is setup, that is tires. And somebody who has more of one needs to keep in mind that the driver cannot make mistakes. He needs to run a great line. He needs to know lift points. He needs to know when to trail bake. He needs to know all these types of things. You have to be on there. Setup has, like I brought up, the great set of tires will bring you far. But if somebody has a better setup for that particular track on equal knowledge of tires, that person with the better setup is going to prevail more than likely. I'm not saying always, because it's, tires are tires, and a great set of tires will make you Superman or make you feel like Superman. And maybe you can jet out there. Maybe you can get that lead and hold on to it. It's very possible. We do sprints, it's only 20 laps, but with cautions and everything like that, I think that they are more equal than some people would lead you to believe. I totally understand why people say, get your tires right and you will win. I get it. I just think that I would take the way I grew up in racing to where we started off with no prep, with dealing with prep in its infancy. Prep's always been a thing, and WD-40, and then you had your concoctions of transmission fluid and diesel and this and that. There's always been prepping, but the modern type of prep has, I came in at a point where it was in its infancy, and then it's progressed to now. I like that I was able to learn setup, to learn adjustments on a kart in order to get it to do what I wanted, not just relying on, tires and date codes and prep systems and all that stuff. I love the art of prep. Obviously Track Tax is a sponsor of this channel. I've been with them since the beginning, or almost the beginning of Track Tax as a company. But I think that they go hand in hand more than some people like to admit. But if you're at a particular track, if you have a setup that works, I totally understand you and people saying, get your tires right, concentrate on tires, don't worry about your setup. Different karts need different setups in order to perform the same on the same tires. It's just my opinion. I thought it would make for a fun video because, like I said, it's been in my phone. It got brought up again, and I was just like, man, I really got to do this video because I understand, but I disagree. I respectfully disagree. I just think, but I'm no tire guru by any stretch of the imagination, so I'm not saying that, hey man, I'm better at tires and I'm going to beat you on tires. I'm one that needs to work on both in order to achieve the speed necessary. I prefer an adjustment on chassis to just selecting another set of tires, because I think tires can be close and they could be 1 or 2 washers away from being absolutely where I need a kart to be. It's just my opinion. You can disagree with it. I'm sure, there'll be, jump in the comments. If you disagree, say it's all about tires, perfectly fine. I hear you. I understand you. I just respectfully disagree. I will take both. I will take somebody who has a knowledge about setup and about percentages and all that stuff, adjusting towards what the tires need. It's just my opinion. But I maybe some of you agree, some of you are going to disagree. Perfectly fine. That's what this channel is about. Discussions can happen in the comments respectfully. I do own this channel. I will hit you with the sarcasm bomb at any point. I've asked the boss who owns the channel. This guy. He has a go ahead that anybody gets uppity in the comments, that just go ahead and just zing them. Have I ever deleted a comment? I don't know that I've ever. Maybe it was something really bad. Like, there's some things that don't belong on this channel, don't belong in the comments. I might have deleted those, but in general, disagreements, I don't think I've ever, but I will hit back. Like I said, I spoke to the boss. He's not taking your crap, so be respectful. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming by, as always. Kart 63. Well, tipping back. I don't know why I did that. That was weird. Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tac Tire Treatments, Burris Racing Tires, and BeardOctane.com. I got some tires, too. Check it out. Look at those. Nah. I know it's brought to you by Burris, but I hear that the Nationals is going to take a certain type of tire, and it might be pink, and it might have some blues involved. The track owners told me that, so best be prepared. I'm going to take everything I got, but best be prepared when it comes September. Anyway, By the way, thank you. I'll just say that. Yeah, I will catch you guys later. We'll see you Thursday for another Dirt Kart Racer Live, a Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll be back here, and I'll keep putting out the shorts. I hope you guys are enjoying them. They're a lot of fun to do. Engine stuff, this and that. I have a bit of the TikTok brain myself. I enjoy those shorts. I love to the point. I love the sounds of it. I've been having a lot of fun putting those out. But all right, guys. Ben, shut up. I'll see you guys Thursday. Later.